Brand new iPhone 8. Let's talk about Bitcoin for a second. Is it a bubble? It just passed a new high, 14,000. That's moving around a little bit. Did you miss out? Or if you're not really interested in the subject, are you right? Because some people think this thing's the biggest bubble in the world, and some people think it's just getting started. Who's right? I want to share with you some of the stuff. I've launched a Bitcoin Crypto Academy. It's a Bitcoin crypto mentorship mastermind. It's an online program that it's a paid program, but I want to share with you guys stuff for free. So basically, and like I said, pay attention because one of the details, I'm gonna give out this brand new iPhone 8 Plus, and I'll probably give away $100 to a few people. Okay, so I want to talk about 4 things you need to know so you don't miss out, either, on the way down or on the way up. Someone said Bitcoin will be zero soon. Somebody said, Tai, isn't Bitcoin a deep web form of money? Lots of people have opinions. I want to clarify a lot of stuff, and here's the thing. First of all, let's be clear on one important thing. Some of the so-called experts have changed their mind. Some of the big people, Jamie Dimon, the big bankers, they've said this is a bubble. They said it was a bubble when it was at a couple hundred, and they were like, it's a bubble, it's a bubble. Now some of them are coming back and going, wait a second, let's create trading desks. Let's start literally getting involved in this. This very people that said they shouldn't do it. So you got to be careful who you're listening to. That was my best advice for you. Somebody said it's going to go to 20,000. I want to share with you a very important thing. This is this weekend, I spent time with maybe the most respected Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain expert in the world. His name is Brock Pierce, and he is the head, he's the chairman of the Bitcoin Foundation. He's the co-founder of EOS, did the largest ICO, raised over $700 million. He's a crypto billionaire. So this dude knows. Now everybody thinks they're an expert on crypto. So what I'm doing is traveling the world, bringing in the world's best experts, interviewing them, then sharing it with you. And he's been involved in crypto and virtual currency since the 1990s. He created a platform in the late 1990s, early 2000s, where it was actually, that was before cryptocurrency even existed. Okay, so somebody said hold until it hits 150,000. I'm going to share with you what he said, and he's an actual expert on this subject. So let's ignore the so-called experts. Bitcoin started at 0 and it passed the new high. Okay, this represents 0, and then this was 14,000 or whatever, or sorry, 0, 14K. Okay, over time, these are the years that it's gone. About a decade ago or so, it's a manufactured currency, meaning it was created just kind of like the US dollar is. And the thing goes, dun, 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 and of course, it's not a straight line, it's doing this, and and now it's at 14 grand. The question is, will the thing go, there's some people predicting it'll hit $1 million for one coin, right? And some people are predicting 0. This is a garbage pen. Get rid of this. So some people are predicting it goes to $0. Hard to know, right? Well, I want to kind of shed some light based on, by the way, do you guys like this? This is my Italian shirt here, Etro. You're going to need probably 2 people here. Okay, so here's what I suggest you do. Listen, let's talk about what Brock told me. And by the way, I'm launching a new crypto Bitcoin podcast. Today, I'm the #1 business podcast in the world. Okay? You guys may need to switch or something because this has to be an attention thing for Sam. not. I don't know. Are you doing something else, Sam?
Yeah, I was sending him a URL for Facebook.
Okay, but let's not do that and have someone else do that because it's a full-time thing. Okay, so here's what Brock Pierce told me. I said, is it too early for someone to get in? He said, no, but it might, I mean, is it too late to get in? Sorry. Is it too late here at 14,000? He said, no, but it may be too early to get in. It may be too early, meaning the whole world, reporters, so-called experts probably have the thing upside down. They probably got it upside down. It might be too early to get in. What does that mean, too early? Well, you can catch trends too early. Let's talk about the internet. So number two, you have to understand what happened with the internet. Internet's basically 1994. The thing starts and then it goes up. You have around the year 2000, right? It starts to peak up here. Amazon is formed here by Jeff Bezos. The thing goes up. It's $1 trillion asset class. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so then what happens? Boom, it drops. Then it begins to go again, and now in let's say 2017, 2018, this thing's higher than it's ever been. So you do YouTube.
Okay, finish that for me.
We got a big problem. What if we're right here? What if Bitcoin's in an early stage issue, bubble? So there's multiple bubbles. Now, there's a very good possibility that it's too early. Does that mean you should or shouldn't buy? Here's what it means. Educate yourself. Brock told me the most important thing, and it's the same thing Warren Buffett says, do not invest in what you don't understand. The whole point and the reason that I've created this Bitcoin crypto mentorship, this mastermind, it's a private mastermind online, is because these are for people who really want to learn this new world. And I will tell you my opinion. This new world's for real. And back here, people were laughing at Jeff Bezos. And they were laughing for probably until about 2004. 10 years. Idiotic reporters, journalists, blah, blah, blah. People were laughing at him. Right here is where you had Elon Musk, Tesla. He borrowed a couple $1 billion. People laughed at him. Blah. Now he's a hero of the whole world. Okay? Be careful who you listen to. If you're not listening to the best, you're going to make a big mistake, because there's big opportunities whenever there's this early trend or even this trend, but most people miss it. And most people buy here and sell here. By the way, number 3 thing, if Bitcoin crashes, I'm just going to tell you this. If any of you currently hold Bitcoin, and remember, there are such things as bubbles. That doesn't mean the whole thing is, there's a difference between a bubble and a crash, guys. Some people don't know that. A bubble was the internet. It didn't crash permanently. Did it crash permanently? Did we not use the internet? Is Amazon no longer an important company? No, hell no. And if you were smart, what you would have done in Amazon is when the damn thing crashed, you would have bought it up. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let's look at a chart of Amazon. Amazon valuation since 1994. Actually, it wasn't public. It didn't have a 1994. Here we go. Amazon versus Walmart, revenues and profits. Let's just look at revenue. Oh, here we go. If you had invested in Amazon at the IPO, $1,000 would now be 239 grand. So when you initially could buy Apple stock, I'm sorry, Amazon stock, now it'd be worth 239,000, sorry. So it went up 239 times. 239 times. So if Bitcoin is in a bubble and it goes down, try to buy it when it's low. this school system has made people fools. They don't get the game. That's not how the game works. You hope to God that the real estate goes down. Then you could buy your neighbor's house for $100 grand. You think that house is going to disappear and not be valuable? Now, some people say, but Tai, that's not a fair analogy. Bitcoin is a manufactured currency. It's not like a home that you can live in. Homes have a floor because homes, no matter what, somebody will pay $1 for a house they can live in. No matter what, they'll pay $10,000, right? Even when Vegas dropped to nothing, people still buy houses for 10 grand. It didn't drop down to $3. But you're right, there is a difference with currencies. But mark my words, if Bitcoin goes down to $1, I will buy it all. So I'm kind of excited if it's a bubble, because the fact that it ever went to 14,000 probably means it'll eventually go back. So if I buy it for $1, because it's a bubble, like Jamie Dimon says, I'd love to buy it for $1 and it go back to 14,000. So now, this is an important thing for you to understand here. There is a possibility and a guarantee. There's a guarantee that some of the cryptocurrency coins will go to zero. I guarantee you, some of the cryptocurrency that are now in existence, there's thousands of them. Okay, there's thousands of them. I guarantee you that some of them are going to go to zero. Okay? So right now, if you look at the top market cap, you've got Bitcoin, but you also have Bitcoin Cash. You've got Ethereum. One of the co-founders of Ethereum was at my house the other day. So that's the second largest. And then you have Bitcoin Cash, and you have all kinds of stuff. You got Litecoin, and there's literally more than almost any person can remember, because there's new ICOs being done all the time. Brock's wife Crystal just did a new coin called Sense. It's so small that it doesn't really trade yet. I mean, it's just launched. So it's very important that each of you understand this concept. In order for there to be long-term value, there has to be utility. So utility is the reason that your next door neighbor's house will never only be worth $1. Okay? It will never only be worth $1 because it's useful. So the question is there any utility in these electronic virtual currencies known as cryptocurrencies? Because for Bitcoin, or one of the forks, because there's such a thing where these currencies fork out, right? So you can have classic version of Ethereum. There's different forks, okay? That's a little more advanced conversation. But forks are okay, they're gonna happen. It's open source code that's building these cryptos. So what that means is people are gonna disagree and they're gonna fork off. It's gonna be like churches, denominations. So Bitcoin, let's just take the largest traded coin right now, which is Bitcoin. Does it have utility? Well, it's being used in Africa because there's countries with massive inflation. So people buying food with it, they're using it. Is there a utility to the fact that, let's say Western Union charges you huge fees? Let's say up to 5–10%. So if you have family back at home and you live in a country and you want to repatriate currency, money back, Western Union, even PayPal, which charges fees depending on how you do it, theoretically peer-to-peer cryptos can have basically no fees. Is that a utility? Is it valuable? Is there a value? Does anybody in the world find value in that? It's somewhat anonymous, which could be, it's not fully anonymous depending on how you do it. Is that utility for anybody? Yeah. Is there any utility for it to be not tied to the US debt? Somebody said, Tai, is that a Hawaiian shirt? It's definitely not a Hawaiian shirt. So my question to you